What's going on, people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to Elijah Talks Football. It's your boy Elijah here. And boy, we have got some games coming this weekend. We got the West London Derby on lunchtime kickoff. We got the Zerbi playing against his former club Brighton on Saturday night. Then we got the Champions League race. Well, not really, but it could be at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Manchester United. And then on Super Sunday, we've got the Merseyside Derby at the Hill Dickinson Stadium for the very first time. But the big one, the big game of the weekend, is a title decider at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City versus Arsenal. I am looking forward to it. I'll be watching every single game this weekend. Of course, on Monday night, we've got West Ham Crystal Palace versus West Ham in a London derby. And that is a huge game, particularly for West Ham because they're aiming to stay up. So yeah, man, these are all the games on different weekends. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it, and that's why in this video I'm gonna go for over some predictions and some stats for you because I'm not gonna read out the stats that I usually do. I'm gonna read out the stats that could happen this weekend. There's some games, which could decide who can win the title, who can be in the champ, who can break the record, and who can get relegated. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and we'll see what happens this weekend. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. So this is game week 33. There's 5 games to go. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. So if you guys haven't done so already, do hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you share this video to all your friends and your family as well, so that they can tune in and do the predictions together. And yeah, man, so basically, that's it. So like, share, comment, subscribe, people. And without further ado, let's go. And so the first game of the weekend of game week 33 is a West London derby. Brentford versus Fulham, of course. Brentford drew 2-2 against Everton. Whereas for Fulham, they've lost 2-0 away to Anfield. So, yeah, basically it is 7th versus 12th. But if look at this, people, Brentford have drawn 4 games in a row. 4 games in a row. So they're unbeaten the last 5, or how many they are, but they've drawn 4 games in a row. That is absolutely crazy. So there's no doubt that this game will be a draw, but um for this one. But let's just see, man. But anyway, oh god, the thing has gone out. There we go. So yeah, let me read out the stats. Not the normal ones, but the record ones that I usually said. So there we go. So let's start off with this one. So Brentford could draw 5 consecutive league games for the first time since March or April 1957. So if I calculate this, so we are in 2026. So 2026 minus, so this is basically 69 years, or close to 70 years if you want to round up to the nearest whole number. So nearly 70 years that Brentford could draw 5 consecutive league games. Crazy. But yeah, Brentford and Fulham get us underway on Saturday lunchtime when they lock horns at the GT Community Stadium. The B7 can jump above Chelsea until the evening, at least with 3 points, while a win could move the Cottagers into the top 10. Brentford recent consists of duet of draws, 4 roll to be precise. If Saturday's class ends level, it will be the club's 55th consecutive league draw for the first time since March or April 1957. And looking at the stats, it's actually true because Brentford are 1 point below Chelsea. If they win against Fulham, they'll go above them on 2 points, but they'll play a game earlier because Chelsea's game against Man United is on an 8 o'clock, so that could all change. But yeah, man, going into this game, I mean, Brentford, they love for draws, innit? For Fulham, though, they've only got 2 wins in the last 5 games, but Fulham themselves could be. In fact, let me tell you something. Yeah, the gap between sixth place and 14th place is 6 points. 6 points. So Brentford, Everton, Brighton, Sunderland, Bournemouth, Fulham, Palace, and Newcastle could be the teams here that could make Europe next season. So you can see that the ways for Europe is looking tasty right now because as it stands right now, Man City, sorry, in order, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Villa, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Brentford are in Europe next season. But, sixth place could make Champions League because if Villa win the Europa League and they end up in fifth place, then sixth place could get you Champions League. And Villa right now are in the semi-finals of the Europa League and they got nothing for us in both legs. So Villa, if they win both those legs, then they have a chance here of winning the Europa League because Unai Emery lost winning the Europa League when, because he did it for Villarreal when they beat Man United in 2021 and he does it also for Sevilla. So if Unai Emery beats Nottingham Forest, Villa have a definite chance of making it of winning the Europa League, and that will certainly take them to the Champions League because winning the Europa League takes you to the Champions League. So there we go. So we could have at least 8 teams playing Europe next season. So the battle for European places is tasty, it really is. But back to this game, Brentford Fulham game, which is of course a West London derby, and the play's not that far. I mean, since Brentford, loves getting a draw, I think it's been a draw as well. I think it's been like a let's go for a I mean, I'm seeing this be like a draw. I'm gonna go. I was thinking of a 1-1, but I said to myself, nah, this is a West London derby, so I might go for 2-2 because I said the draw against Brentford and Everton, and they drew 1-1. My first one is that this could be a 2-2, but I'm like, no, let me go for 1-1. But in this West London derby, I'm gonna go for 2-2. I think Brentford will take the lead twice, but then Fulham will equalise twice. So that's why I'm going to go for 2-2 draw because like I said, because if Brentford get a draw, then they'll be on the same points. But the reason they cannot be above Chelsea at that time is because of goal difference. And I don't want Brentford to be above Chelsea, but at this point, I do not care. If Brentford win and they're above Chelsea, then I don't care. Let them. But I'll get to my club in just a minute. But yeah, I'm going to go for 2-2 join this one. Goal scorers for Brentford, I'm going to go for Jordan Henderson and Igor Thiago to score because he's on a really good form. For Fulham, I'm going to go for Alex Iwobi and Harry Wilson to score. So yeah, 2-2 draw in that game in the West London derby. So there we go. All right, the next game is Leeds versus Wolves. Of course, Leeds got that huge win against Man United at Old Trafford. And by the way, Leeds have finally beaten Man United at Old Trafford for the first time since 1981. 45 years ago, Crazy. But yeah, they got a huge win. Whereas for Wolves, they lost to West Ham 4-0, by the way, at the London Stadium. So yeah, I mean, Wolves, they had chances to get some wins so that they can stay up. But at this moment in time, they're definitely getting relegated. So there we go. But yeah, man. But listen to this, guys, because this could happen on Saturday. Because, this could happen on Saturday. So Wolves, if you're a Wolves fan, you may not like this, but this could be true. The title is Wolves on the Brink. Wolves will be relegated this weekend if they lose away to Leeds and Tottenham beat Brighton. So basically, the Leeds Wolves game is on the 3 o'clock, and then the Tottenham Brighton game is on the 5:30. So if Wolves lose to Leeds away, and then if Tottenham beat Brighton, Wolves are relegated. They could be the first team to do that this season. They could be the first team. So crazy, man. But listen to this. Leeds boost their survival hopes with a first league win at Old Trafford in 45 years, like I mentioned, and now they return home to face basement club Wolves, who they've beaten in each of their last four Premier League matches. Only Sunderland, Tottenham Hotspur, and West Ham had enjoyed longer winning runs in the competition. Leeds, who are only the club yet to win consecutive Premier League games this season, are chasing back-to-back top five wins for the first time since 2022. That is crazy. But most improved at Ellen Road, where they have failed to score in their last three league games, so they haven't stretched to four home blanks in a row since 1982. And finally, for Wolves, relegation to the Championship will be confirmed this weekend if they lose away to Leeds and Tottenham beat Brighton later on Saturday. Regardless, they're said to become just the fourth side to spend 30 consecutive matches bottom of the Premier League table after Swindon Town 39, Portsmouth 34, and Sheffield United 31. That is crazy, the fact that Wolves had some really good performances, but they could potentially be relegated if they lose to Leeds and Tottenham beat Brighton. That is crazy, So for Wolves, I mean, I would have thought they go sort try to do something against West Ham, but they didn't. But now they go away to Leeds United. It ain't gonna be easy because Leeds United are looking to get 40 points. All Leeds need to do, is to win one and draw one, and they're safe. So this ain't gonna be easy for Wolves. It really isn't. And the fact they got battered by a West Ham, who are also fighting for their lives, I feel like Leeds are gonna do the same. They're gonna battle Wolves. They really are. So for this game on Saturday, I'm going to go for 3-0 Leeds win. Because after that win against Man United at Old Trafford, it will give the players and the manager confidence. And I didn't think here that Leeds are going to stay up. And it's not because of them. It's because Daniel Farke has a very bad record in the Premier League. Very bad. But it looks like that curse is going to end. Because Leeds are, a win and a point away of staying up, because 40 points gets you to safety. So all Leeds need to do is to win one and draw one. If Leeds win two games for the last five matches in the Premier League, they're definitely staying up. So there we go, man. But yeah, man, Leeds are going to win 3-0. They're going to win 3-0. Goal scorers, Dominic Calvert to score a brace, and I don't know who's going to score for Leeds United. But all I know is that the way that West Ham beat Wolves is the same way that Leeds are going to do the same thing. So yeah, 3-0 to Leeds is going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. Right, the next game is the Etihad Derby. Newcastle versus Bournemouth. But Newcastle, we need to talk about them because look at this, people. They are at 14th place. 14th place. They're 6 points above Leeds United. If Leeds United beat Wolves and if Newcastle lose to Bournemouth, the gap between them and Leeds could be 3 points. Like, that is crazy. Like, Eddie Howe is under some real pressure. Like, I'm pretty surprised. I'm a bit surprised that he's still at the club, because the fact that he's taken Newcastle to win a first major trophy in 70 years, took it to the Champions League, and now doing 14th place and end up winning nothing is absolutely crazy right now. Like, I'm a bit surprised that Eddie Howe is still at the job. I really am. But anyway, let's see about this one. But yeah, listen to this, people. Howler. If Newcastle lose to Bournemouth, they will have suffered 8 defeats in 11 Premier League games since January the 25th, more than any other side. Like, that is crazy. 8 defeats in 11 Premier League games since January the 25th, more than any other side. Like, if this doesn't get Eddie Howe sacked, then I don't know how they do it. But anyway, Bournemouth announced their manager, Areola, would depart at the end of the season. And one of their former managers, Eddie Howe, has been touched as a possible replacement. By chance, the two bosses locked horns at St James Park on Saturday, with Howe desperate for a win to ease the pressure following a one of 7 defeats in 10 league games. Of course, they didn't. Of course, one of those wins was against Chelsea, and the other one was against Man United in that time. I don't know what the other result is, but there you go. If they lose again, they'll lost more games than any other side since January 25th last year. Bournemouth are enjoying a club one of 12 Premier League games without defeat and have lost to Newcastle in 7 games. While they could win away to the tune for the fourth time in the Premier League, which would be their joint most on the world in the competition alongside Wolves. Like, yeah, there you go. And Bournemouth, in fact, how many games unbeaten? 12 Premier League games. And by the way, their last game was away to the Emirates Stadium and they won. And Bournemouth, even though they're 11th, they still can make it to Europe because the gap between sixth place and 11th place is just 3 points. So Bournemouth, despite drawing like 7 games in a row, they could still make it to Europe because other teams around them are inconsistent, which is crazy right now. And the way I see this right now, I mean, Bournemouth, I mean, they're unbeaten, so I do not see them losing that game. I mean, it either could be a draw or a Bournemouth win. And the way I see this right now, the fact that Newcastle lost away to Crystal Palace, I think Palace went down to 10 men, did they? Let me have a look. Did Palace went down to 10 men in that game? I'm pretty sure they did. Or it might be Newcastle. Uh, 1 second. Okay, no, but I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, the fact that Newcastle were 1-0 up and they bottled it, and especially that Jonathan Mateta scored late on, that must have added wounds to that team. So to Newcastle. So the way I think both are gonna get this win. I'm gonna go for 2-1 Bournemouth because I really cannot trust Newcastle at this moment in time. I really can't. And if I look at their form table in the Premier League, um Newcastle have got 2 wins in the last 5 Premier League games. And like I said, those 2 wins was against Chelsea and Manchester United back to back. It's crazy, but ever since 10, back-to-back defeats against Crystal Palace and who else have they lost to? Against Sunderland in the Trineway Derby. So anyhow, it's under some serious pressure. So this is a must-win game for Newcastle. It really has to be a must win because anyhow they don't win this game, anyhow it's under some serious pressure. He really is. Like, I think he could be leaving next season. He really could. So there we go. But yeah, 2-1 Bournemouth is going to be my score prediction. Goal scorers, I'm going to go for Voldemort, go for Newcastle. For Bournemouth, I'm going to go for Justin Kluivert and Eve Vallierson to score. So yeah, 2-1 to Bournemouth. It's going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. And those are the only 3 p.m. kickoffs in that game. Only 2 of them. So there we go. All right, the next game is the Wobber Derby. Tottenham versus Brighton. Tottenham right now, they seriously have to win this game. They really do. Because Tottenham, if I take a look at their next fixtures after that, 1 sec, let me just get it out. So yeah, if I take a look at the Tottenham's next 5 Premier League games, is it 6? Oh, my bad. Well, 5 games after that, they go away to Wolves, they go away to Villa, they're home to Leeds United, away to Chelsea, and at home to Everton. That's the next 5 games after this one. Like, that is absolutely crazy. Like, if I take a look at the next few games, I don't think they'll beat Brighton. I really don't, because Brighton are in a really good run of form. You know, only 1 defeat in the last 5 Premier League games, and that was at home to Arsenal. And that's basically it. And Brighton are fighting for Europe. Do you know what I mean? But for Tottenham, they still yet to, in fact, the fact they've only won 2 Premier League games since October the 26th, which is the day after my birthday, that is crazy. That is crazy, man. Like, I mean, Tottenham need to win this game because if they do not win, and let's say West Ham beat Crystal Palace, Forest beat who have Forest got? Who have Forest got? Burnley at home. Leeds beat Wolves at home. Then Tottenham are in deep trouble. Deep trouble. And guess what? Actually, no. Yeah, Tottenham will be in deep trouble if West Ham, Forest, and Leeds win their games, deep trouble. Like, Tottenham need to win this game. They really have to. But the fact that Tottenham only won two home Premier League games this season at White Hart Lane, boy, this could be this could be bad for Spurs. But let's take a look at this. Tottenham could lose. In fact, this would be a record stat. Tottenham could lose five straight Premier League home games, for the first time since 1994. The Premier League started in 1992, so that's basically 2 years after the Premier League had began. Like, that is crazy. But let's go into a few details. Robert De Zerbi's first home Premier League game in charge of Brighton was against Tottenham, which he lost. His first home Premier League game in charge of Tottenham is against a former club, Brighton, on Saturday. It's the first time in Premier League history that a manager's first home game in charge of two clubs have been the same fixture. Tottenham remain the only Premier League side without a win in 2026, having gone a staggering 14 games, drawn 5 and lost 9 since their last fixture, which was against Crystal Palace away. Spurs lost their opening game on the new boss, Robert De Zerbi, which dropped the club in the relegation zone with just 6 games to go. And another defeat this weekend at home to Brighton would make it 5 straight Premier League home defeats for the first time since 1994. And that is basically 6 years before I was born. And finally, in contrast, Brighton are flying, barging their way into the conversation for European places following a superb run of 5 wins in 6, which is really good, picking up most points in the league during this one. The Seagulls, who faced Spurs 4-1 away on the final day of last season, will be now targeting their 4th successive Premier League away win for the first time in their history, and they are showing the picture of Robert De Zerbi, because he was the former manager for Brighton. Like, listen, Tottenham need to get this win, because if they don't, their chances of relegation could increase. Because I don't know what the percentage is right now, but like I said, if Tottenham lose to Brighton, and if West Ham, Forest, and Leeds win their game, then Tottenham chances of being relegated could increase a little bit. They could, and for me, it would be great to see Tottenham relegated as a Chelsea fan, but as a neutral, I would hate it, because I've got friends who are Tottenham fans, the likes of Kate, on the football terrace, Deji, who I speak to, and especially a very good friend of mine, Abby Summers. Like, Abby Summers is a really, really nice friend, she knows me ever since the day I met her. We talk to each other on DR Sports. We used to, but not anymore. But we do communicate each other on Instagram and on TikTok. And if if Tottenham do relegated, I really do fight for Abby Summers, because she's a lovely person. She really is. And she's a nice person. We speak to each other about football, and we banter each other, but in a good way. So I hate to see Tottenham relegated as a neutral, because I have a few Spurs fans, but as a Chelsea fan, I would love it. Because the fact that Tottenham could get relegated for the first time in my lifetime as a 25-year-old going to 26 in October this year, boy, that would be something. But yeah, in terms of this game, I mean, Tottenham have to win, but at this moment in time, I really do not see that happening. So for this game tomorrow, I'm going to go for 3-1 Brighton to win. Simple as that. 3-1 Brighton, Tottenham will score, because I think Brighton cannot keep clean sheets, but I think Brighton will add the wounds of their former manager, and especially to Tottenham. So yeah, 3-1 Brighton. Goal score for Tottenham only, maybe Richarlison. For Brighton, I'm going to go for Matoma, Danny Welbeck, and who else? James Milner to score. So yeah, 3-1 to Brighton is going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. I know Spurs fans will hate me to say this, but like I said, you've only got 2 Premier League home wins this season: Burnley and Brentford, and that's basically it. And you still haven't won a Premier League game in 2026. Still haven't won. Only 1 point in that time. 1 or maybe 2 points in that time. Like, it's crazy, man. So yeah, 3-1 to Brighton. It's going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. All right, the next game is a tie. Well, not a title race, but Champions League race. Chelsea versus Manchester United, of course. Let me read out some stats before I get into the Chelsea conversation. So Fernandes and Casemiro chase a club record. Another assist from Bruno Fernandes for Casemiro will make it seven between the pair. A new Manchester United club record with most assists to a single teammate in a Premier League season. And of course, they've actually no. Let me just read out what it says. Pressure is mounting on Liverpool at Chelsea with a win badly needed at home to a top five rivals Manchester United this weekend. Since the start of March, no side in Europe Big Five leagues have lost more games in all competitions than Chelsea, 6 in 9. So that's basically yeah, 6 losses in 9, which is absolutely crazy. I think we've won 3 games in that time. One of them was against Port Vale, and another one was one of them was against Port Vale, another one against Villa, and I think we also beat Wrexham in that time, which was the FA Cup, which is absolutely crazy. So you can clearly, if I'll get to Chelsea in just a moment, and they could suffer 4 straight Premier League defeats for only the second time this century. Man United, on the other hand, was stunned at home by Leeds United on Monday 2-1 at Old Trafford, but the familiar link between Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro delivered again. Bruno Fernandes has now set up Rosenior 6 times this season, and another one, which of course 7, would set a new club record for the most assists from one player to a single teammate in Premier League campaign. Meanwhile, Bruno Fernandes continues to chase down the record for most assists in a season, with his tally 17, now just 3 behind the joint record of Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne, which is 20. Now, do I think Bruno Fernandes is going to break that record? I don't think so, but he's close. He is getting close, so he only needs 3 assists or more to equal and to break that record. So there we go. But as you can see here, with this stat, since the start of March, no side has in Europe Big Five leagues have lost more games in all competitions than Chelsea. And if we look at the 6 defeats, and we start the game against Arsenal was on the 1st of March, so we lost to Arsenal. Then we beat Villa, and then we beat Wrexham. Then we went so we beat Wrexham. Then we went away to PSG and we lost. We were home against Newcastle and we lost. We was at home against PSG and we lost. Then before the international break, we lost to Everton away, and then last weekend we lost to Man City away. And if I take a look at the at those games, let me just take a look. In the games that we have and if I take a look at the games we scored 1 plus 4 is 5. Then it's 9. Then it's 11. Hold on. 5, 9, 11, 11, and 18. So we have scored 18 in that time. So that's 18 goals. But we have conceded 3, 5, 8. Sorry, let me say that again. 3, 5. Wait. Sorry, 3. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Sorry, guys. 3, 5, 10, 11, 12, 15, and 18. So we scored 18 goals and we conceded 18 since the start of March. So our goal difference is 0. 0 goals in all, 0 goal difference in all competitions. So we scored 8, so we conceded 18. And if you look at the Premier League, we've lost back-to-back games 3-0. 3-0 back-to-back. If I take a look at the last three Premier League games, they didn't score against Newcastle, they didn't score against Everton, and they didn't score against Man City. So that is 10 goals. Sorry, no, I'm wrong. That is 7 goals and 0 scored. So that's a -7 goal difference in the last three Premier League games. I tell you what, people, I wouldn't be surprised here if Man United beat us 3-0. I wouldn't be surprised because our home form is a disgrace. It's mid-table. We're in 12th place. We've only won 6. I repeat, 6 Premier League home games this season. 6. Let that sink in, people. And this is why, yeah, before Enzo Maresca got sacked, the only games that we conceded 3 or more in the Premier League was Brighton and Leeds United. Those are the only games here before Enzo Maresca got sacked that we conceded 3 goals. We have done it twice here under Rosenior, back to back, twice. So this is why I didn't get why Enzo Maresca got sacked. I didn't get it. This is why I wanted Bluco out, because sacking Enzo Maresca was the one decision. If Enzo Maresca was soon in charge, we'll get Champions League and we'll probably win a trophy. Because that's what Enzo Maresca did last season. Won us the Conference League, which we're meant to win, got us into the top 4 or top 5, but we finished 4th place, and won us the Club World Cup. He clearly won the centre back, but what did the owner say? Internal solutions. This rubbish, yeah? It's just a joke, man. It really is a joke. And that is why, yeah, we'll be lucky to get Champions League football because we don't deserve it. Chelsea do not deserve Champions League football. And when I talk about Chelsea, I talk about the owners and the Chelsea fans that call me negative, delusional, you're fake fan. Those are the ones that deserve this. But the players don't deserve it. Fans who are like me, Matisse, Minerals, this and that, they don't deserve it as well. I feel also sorry for the manager as well, because he doesn't deserve this, but he should have never taken a job in the first place. But the Chelsea hierarchies, the owners deserve this. And if we don't make European football, that's good. Yeah, that is good. Because it will show the owners, yeah, the way he did in summer has been a failure. An absolute failure. In fact, it will be a failure this season if we do not. In fact, it's a failure that we could potentially not make Europe, and we don't win a trophy. We have regressed last season. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man. So listen, I mean, I don't want to predict a loss because Man United, like, they are doing good on the carry, but in the last 3 games they're starting to like drop points a little bit. But for me, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Man United win at Stamford Bridge, which they haven't done since February 2020. And I also wouldn't be surprised if they beat us 3-0, because they like to concede 3 goals every single time, especially back-to-back in the Premier League. So for this game, I want to back my team, but I just can't. I just want this season to be done. To simulate the season, man. Simulate the entire season. So yeah, for this game, I'm going to go for a draw. 1-1. Simple as that. Casemiro will score the goal. João Pedro scored the goal. And that's basically it. 1-1 in that game. I have no hope, no belief. Even though it's at Stamford Bridge, we've been terrible at home this season. So yeah, man. 1-1 draw is going to be my prediction. And before that game, there will be a protest, not only for Chelsea fans, but for Strasbourg fans, because they're not happy about Blue Card, what they did to their club. And listen, like Matisse said, it's going to be difficult because you want to support the players to try to win the game. Well, I'm hoping, yeah, that Chelsea players will enter the game about maybe 5 or 10 minutes late because they need to be empty seats. Just boycott the games. Do not buy any merchandise. Don't buy anything, because we need to do everything in our power to get Bluco out, because they destroyed this club from top to bottom. We have lost. Our account has dropped, which is the biggest in European football history, and our revenues also dropped, which is also the Premier League history. We've lost so many money, and if we can keep this on, our money could be minus. it could be minus, and we wouldn't have any money to spend anymore. So for me, Chelsea fans, like, I'm not gonna be there, but I hope every Chelsea fan, I hope they surround Stamford Bridge, sing loud, and the same goes for Chelsea fans. Hopefully there won't be any chaos or something like that. But we need to do everything in our power to get these owners out because they've been a disgrace and they need to leave the club immediately. And Wolfie said to me, "Oh, they cannot sell." Like, listen, I do not care. I don't care if they sell or not. It is time for Blue Coat to be leaving the club immediately. Pack your bags, and leave the club. Because yesterday, they said, yeah, oh, they realized they learned the mistakes and we're trying to do everything in our power to make Chelsea great again. You're chatting, and they also said, and last week they said, oh, we're going to sign some experienced players from the Premier League that can help the likes of Lever Cole. Bullshit, yeah? Bullshit. Because I've seen them doing this last season, but what did they do? Sign Garnacho, sign Jamie Gittins, didn't bring the likes of Mike Mayan, Michael Lise, Victor Osimhen, Javi Simmons, Mohamed Kudus, this and that. So for me, whatever they said is a load of bullshit. And that's why I'm not going to believe the lies. Because what they'll do this summer is they'll probably sign like a 21 or 17 or 18 years old. So for me, what they said yesterday or last week is a load of nonsense. So for me, win, lose or draw, Blue Coat out. Simple as that. But yeah, 1-1 draw. And that's why I ain't doing match previews anymore. Because what's the point? What is even the point? I want to do match previews with the opposition. Why didn't do it by myself? Like, what's the point, man? But yeah, I'm just going to go for 1-1 draw. And that's basically it. So, there we go. So yeah, that's my score. To Super Sunday's game. So the first game I'm gonna do is Aston Villa versus Sunderland. Of course, Aston Villa drew away to Nottingham Forest, whereas in Europe they destroyed Bologna by 4 goals to 0, and they safely through to the semi-final where they'll face Nottingham Forest in both legs. So there we go. All right, let's take a look at the stats in that one. One sec. All right, so here it is. Unai Emery could extend his Aston Villa record to 20 Premier League games without a defeat against newly promoted teams, winning 4 and drawing 5. Aston Villa ended the 2025 with a stunning return of 12 wins from 14 Premier League games, but since won just 4 of 13 in 2026. However, they have secured a 7-point cushion in the top 5 ahead of Chelsea in 6th, and have only lost once in their last 13 Premier League games against Sunday's opponents, Sunderland. In fact, Aston Villa have never lost to a newly promoted team in the Premier League under Unai Emery, who has accumulated 14 wins and 5 draws in those fixtures. An unbeaten record he will be looking to stretch is to 20 this weekend. So, as you can see here, Villa, as you can see, this stat really works in Unai Emery's favor. But it ain't gonna be easy because Sunderland, by the way, are doing well this season. If I take a look at the table, they are in 10th place on 46 points, and they are trying to aim for European places this season. So it ain't gonna be easy for Aston Villa. And yeah, Sunderland won back-to-back aims after a defeat to Arsenal. So there we go. But listen, it's at Villa Park. It's going to be a very difficult place to go to. So I think they'll just about. I mean, I would have gone for the usual 3-1, but Sunderland are a very good team. So I'm going to reduce it to a little bit. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Villa win. I feel like they will get the job done, but it ain't going to be that easy because Sunderland got that win against Tottenham, and they've went away to St. James Park and beaten Newcastle in the Tranmere Derby. So, yeah, man, Sunderland have definitely stayed for next season. So, yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Villa win just about. Goal scorers, I'm going to go for Tammy Abraham and Ollie Watkins. For Sunderland, I'm going to go for Barry to score. So, yeah, 2-1 Aston Villa. They'll get the job done, but it ain't going to be that easy. So, yeah, 2-1 to Aston Villa in that game. All right, the next game Everton versus Liverpool. Merseyside Derby at the Hill Dickinson Stadium for the first time in the in Premier League history. So yeah, man, Everton they drew 2-2 away to Brentford. Whereas for Liverpool they won 2-0 at home to Fulham. Now I remember the final game of the Merseyside Derby at Goodison Park ended in a 2-2 draw. I think it was Tricos that scored the late winner after Liverpool were 2-1 up, and that caused you know a huge chaos, yeah, at the Goodison Park. Everton fans were celebrating like crazy, this and that. And then after the referee blown the whistle, Beto was having a go at the Liverpool fans, and Coach didn't like it. And there was, a massive ball in that game. So yeah, man, I remember 2-2. I remember mostly like Michael Oliver because the decision didn't go Liverpool's way. So I wouldn't be. I don't know who's going to be the referee, but if it was Michael Oliver, I know many Liverpool fans will hate him. They will hate Michael Oliver. So there we go. But yeah, man, Merseyside Derby at the Hill Dickinson Stadium for the first time in Premier League history. Yeah, man, we'll see how this game unfolds. So there we go. All right. Liverpool could become the first club to win at 16 different Premier League grounds. The Reds have won 59 of the 61 stadiums they played at, with the exception being Bloomfield Road and Kenilworth Road. Of course, Kenilworth Road is Luton Stadium. What is Bloomfield Road? Let me just see which club is that one. Oh, Blackpool. So it's only Blackpool and Luton are the only stadiums they haven't won. So okay, there you go. Everton and Liverpool clash in the first Merseyside derby at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. The Toffees will be looking to mark the occasion with a win, although history tells us that this might be hard to come by given they've only just won 5 of the last 52 league games against Liverpool in the 21st century. Liverpool will be looking to bounce back from their Champions League exit by claiming a first straight Merseyside derby win in the top flight for the first time since March 2017. If the Reds do win, they'll become the first club to triumph at 16 different Premier League grounds. Bloomfield Road, which Blackpool, and Kenilworth Road, Luton Town, are the only 2 grounds they played that they haven't yet won. So there we go. If you're Luton or Blackpool supporter, you must be happy for that one. But listen, this is going to be a very tough game for Liverpool. It really is, because Hill Dickinson Stadium is a very difficult place to go to. But the one thing I will say about Everton is that this season, the Premier League, their form at home hasn't been that great. In fact, let me just take a look. Home form table. Let's see where Everton are in that case this season. So if I take a look at Everton, their home form is 14th. 6 wins, 4 draws, and 6 defeats. So their home form at the Hill Dickinson Stadium hasn't been that great. It really hasn't. But yeah, man. But if you look at Liverpool, their one is, what are they? Just about on 31 points. So if this game was at Anfield, then Liverpool are definitely winning. But at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, I mean, this game could either be a draw or an Everton win, because I don't see Liverpool going away to Hill Dickinson Stadium and winning. I really don't. And for me, listen, even though I don't care, I would love Everton to I want that game to be a draw at least, because if Everton win, they go above us. If Liverpool win, they'll be clear of Chelsea. So the best one I want this game to be is a draw. But if I have to be real, I think Everton are going to win this game. I really do think so, because they want to start the Merseyside derby at the Hill Dickinson Stadium with a win. They want to. Of course, they ended Goodison Park with a draw, but want to start the Hill Dickinson Stadium with a win. So I believe the atmosphere will be electric, and I think the place will be up with it. and the manager as well, and even the fans as well. So I'm sorry to say this, Liverpool fans, but I think Everton are going to beat you. Even though they have a very poor record against Liverpool at home, this is no good. This is no longer Goodison Park. This is at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. The capacity at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Let me just get my phone real quick. Is I believe it's something like 52,888. Let me check the capacity. Okay, 52,769. So it's kind of close. So if I do the calculation, let me just calculate the difference, the percentage, what is Goodison Park capacity? Okay, 59,572. So if I calculate this, one sec, 39,572 divided by 52,769. Then if I times by 100, so you can see that, oh, full 74. No, that cannot be correct. One sec. I think let me try 52,769 divided by 39,572. Then if I times that by 100, oh, that one. Okay, you know what? So yeah, the stated capacity has increased to about 74. No, that cannot be correct. Uh, I don't know. Be correct. All right, guys. I did a bit of calculation, and yeah, like I was saying, this is gonna be tough for Liverpool because the capacity between Hill Dickinson Goodison Park and Hill Dickinson Stadium have increased to about 34% in terms of capacity. So yeah, man, the atmosphere is gonna be electric. The fans will be up for it. The managers, the players. So yeah, man. So that's why I think Liverpool. That's why I think Everton is going to win this game just about. I don't want it to happen, but I can see that happening. So yeah, 2-1 Everton. Goal scorers, I'm going to go for Beto and Elimin Ndiaye. For Liverpool, I'm going to go for let's go for Mo Salah. And by the way, before I move on, I just want to say massive condolences. I want to say my heartfelt and prayers to Hugo Ekitike because he has broken he has injured his leg during the PSG game and is going to be out for at least 9 months. So Hugo Ekitike will miss the World Cup for France, and for me that is a really really sad. Like if I was a player and I suffer like this, I'll be very very disappointed and so sad. I'm gonna miss the World Cup. So hearts full of prayers go out to Hugo Ekitike and hopefully he can come back fitter and stronger after his injuries. So there we go. But yeah, 2-1 Everton. Let's hope Liverpool could win this game for him. Let's hope. And Mo Salah, but and this will be Mo Salah's last ever game in the Merseyside Derby. So let's see if Liverpool can do it for both Salah and for Hugo Ekitike. But we shall see, man. We shall see. So yeah, 2-1 to Everton is going to be my score prediction. All right, the next game is Nottingham Forest versus Burnley. Of course, Forest are still yet to win at home because they drew against Aston Villa, whereas for Burnley, lost 2-0 at home to Brighton. So yeah, and of course, Nottingham Forest did win against Porto 1-0, and they're safely through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. So Victor Pierre doing really good in Europe, but in terms of the Premier League, not so much, especially at home. So there we go. But let's see what these stats are saying. Victor Piero could become the first manager in English top 5 history to lose twice at home to a newly promoted team in the same season. Um, I don't know. In fact, let me just have a look at the rest of it. If Nottingham Forest, 16th and 3 points above the relegation zone, are staying up this season. They can feel Sunday's clash at home to Burnley, which are 19th, is a game they really have to win. However, their boss Victor Pereira have already lost at home to Burnley this season. With when he was in charge of Wolves. Oh yeah, I remember that one. He will be determined to avoid becoming the first manager in English top 5 history to lose twice at home to a newly promoted team in one season. Meanwhile, the last manager to lose 2 home games against an opponent in the season was Frank Lampard, 22 to 23 season. And I think that was yeah, that was when he was an Everton manager. It only seems a matter of the time until Burnley's fate is sealed, but they can at least draw on an encouraging record in this fixture. Have lost one of their last 8 league games against Nottingham Forest. I bet 7 have been draws. So there we go. But yeah, listen, this is a must-win game for Nottingham Forest because it's good that they've got to win against Tottenham, but if they lose to Burnley, and let's say that West Ham and Tottenham win their games, then Nottingham Forest could be back in the relegation zone in 18th. So these are huge games for Forest. If they want to stay up, then it's a must-win game for them. It really is. Like, Forest need to win at least... Forest, yeah, need to win 3 games, get a draw, and they are safe because they're on 33 points. So you know what I mean? So if Forest need to stay up, they've got to win this game. They really got to. And I think they will because Burnley, for me, even though they tried their best, for me, they're getting relegated alongside Wolves. So yeah, for this game on Sunday, I'm going to go for 2-0. I'm going to go for 2-0 to Forest. They'll win, keep a clean sheet, and put more pressure on teams below them, the likes of Tottenham and West Ham. So yeah, 2-0 Forest is going to be my score prediction. Goal scorers, Igor Jesus, Morgan Gibbs White to score, and that's basically it. So yeah, 2-0 to Forest is going to be my score prediction in that game on Sunday. All right, then we move on into the big one, the game of the weekend, the title decider at the Etihad Stadium on a 4:30 p.m. kickoff. Manchester City versus Arsenal. Of course, Man City on a really good run of form ever since they beat Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, which was 2-0. They beat Liverpool 4-0. They've beaten Chelsea 3-0. So yeah, Man City are on a really good run of form. But whereas for Arsenal, not so much. They've lost 3 out of the last 5 games because they did face Sporting Lisbon twice. But yeah, they lost to Man City in the cup final. They lost to Southampton. Yeah, they beat Sporting, but they lost to Bournemouth and they drew to Sporting. So yeah, Arsenal have lost 3 of the last 5 games, and when you see that stat, it's really poor. But guess what, guys? I saw a table, yeah. If I looked, but yeah, I saw this table and I honestly couldn't believe it. Arsenal's record in April. Let me see if I can find an image. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. This is from DR Sports, by the way. Guardiola's record in April is 38 Premier League wins and 30 wins. So that's a win percentage of close to 80. But if you look at Arteta's record in April, 25 Premier League games, only 11 wins, and the win percentage is 44. Like, that is absolutely crazy. And this is basically the last 6 years because Mikel Arteta came into Arsenal since December 2019. So the fact that Mikel Arteta has a poor record, whereas the likes of Pep Guardiola is absolutely crazy. And for me, yeah, if Arsenal do not beat Man City, then I don't think they're going to win this league. They really can't. Because, and don't forget that Man City have a game in hand against Crystal Palace. And if you look at the table here, Man City are basically 6 points below Arsenal. But if Man City do beat Arsenal, then and Sorry, let's say if Man City, yeah, let's say they beat Arsenal and they destroy Crystal Palace, then they'll be in first place because of goal difference. The reason why Arsenal's still top is because they're on 38 on goal difference. Like Man City, yeah, need to batter Arsenal and batter Crystal Palace because that's the game in hand. And if that happens, they'll be in first place. So listen, I feel like this should be like this a must-win game for both teams because if Arsenal do beat Man City, then they're definitely winning this league. They really are because I don't see a game where Arsenal drop points and then Man City win another game. Like if Arsenal from now on to the end of the season, if Arsenal need to win this league, they need to win every single game. They need to. They need to. Whereas for Man City, if they win against Arsenal and they win every single game, then they'll win the title. So one of those teams from now to the end of the season have to win. Because if that happens, only one team will win the Premier League for me. And that's basically it. Unless, one team drop points and another team picks up and win. That's the only way that it could all change. But I'm looking forward to this, people. There will be a live watch along for that game on Sunday. So make sure you guys tune in. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. So listen, I feel like this game might be a draw because Man City are still yet to be Arsenal in the Premier League since that 4-1 win in April 2023. By the way, they're still yet to be Arsenal. Ever since then, also had also got 2 wins and 3 draws, I think, because I remember they beat in the 23 to 24 season, beat Man City 1-0 at the Emirates, then drew 0-0. Then last season, they drew 2-2, then Arsenal won 5-1, and then they drew each other at the Emirates. So also got 2 wins and 3 draws against Man City. So listen, could this be the season where Man City finally beat Arsenal in the league? We shall see. But in terms of this game, I don't think Arsenal going to get battered by Man City like that. I really don't. But the way I see this right now, the fact that Mikel Arteta has a very bad record in April, and they still haven't beaten Man City Etihad since, I believe, since 2012. Yeah, man. It's either going to be a draw or Man City win. That's it for me. And if Arsenal do not win this game, then for me, the league is done. The league is done. Unless Man City drop points and then also win the next game, then cool. But this is a must-win game for both teams. And like I said, if either one of those teams wins from now to the end of the season and the other team drop points, then they're winning the league 110%. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Man City face Arsenal. In terms of my score prediction, I mean, I think this might be a draw, but if you want me to be real, I feel like Man City are going to win this game. They're going to win 2-1. It's going to be a very tight game because I don't see Man also getting battered by Man City like that, the way they did 2 seasons ago. I just feel like the atmosphere will be electric. 60,000 fans potentially, of course, 3,000 Arsenal fans. The Man City fans will be up for it. The players and manager, especially the likes of Ryan Cherky, Semenyo, Jeremy Doku, they're going to be up for it. And yeah, like I wanted to go for 2-0 because the fact that Man City haven't conceded in the last 3 games, but I don't know, man. I think Arsenal will score. They will score. But I wouldn't be surprised Man City win 2-0 or maybe 3-0 like that. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game. But I just see Man City winning this game because I would have thought that Arsenal would have wrapped up the league by now. But since that loss against Bournemouth and the fact that their last 3 games, their performance hasn't been that great, I'm going to go for Man City 2-1 win. Just going to go for 2-1. Goal scorers, Ryan Cherky and Nico Wiley. Those are the 2 goal scorers. For Arsenal, I'm going to go for... Let's go for Martinelli because he loves scoring against Man City. So yeah, I'm going to go for Martinelli to score. So yeah, 2-1 to Man City is going to be my score prediction for that game on Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. Live watching on Super Sunday. You guys better not miss it. It's going to be a good one. It really is. So yeah, 2-1 to Man City. And then the last game on Game Week 33 is a London derby between Crystal Palace and West Ham United. So let me see the stats for that game. And Oh yeah, I forgot to read out this one. 1 second before I get into that score prediction. Mikel Arteta could lose four successive domestic matches for the first time in charge of Arsenal, with Arsene Wenger, the last Scottish boss to suffer this fate back in March or April 2018, which is basically 8 years ago. Man City take on Arsenal at the Etihad in the biggest match of the Premier League season. Arsenal lead at the summit have been trimmed to just 6 points, while chasing Man City could gobble up that advantage with a win on Sunday and then another win in their game in hand at Burnley next week. Man City have won 29 of their last 32 Premier League games in April and lost just one of their last 19 Premier League matches since the 22nd of November 2025. City also boasts an impressive record at home this fixture, having gone 10 games unbeaten against Arsenal since January 2015. I was wrong there. I thought it was 2012, but there you go. Arsenal, meanwhile, on a difficult one domestically after a Carabao Cup final defeat to Man City, an FA Cup exit to Southampton, and a league loss to AFC Bournemouth. They have never lost four consecutive domestic matches under Mikel Arteta. The last Arsenal boss to doing so being Arsene Wenger in March to April 2018. And finally, Arsenal are, however, unbeaten in the last 5 league games against Man City, winning 2 and drawing 3. They have recorded the most away points this season and have lost on the road in 2026. So there you go. So you can clearly see that these stats kind of do work in Man City favour more than Arsenal. So there we go. So yeah, those are the stats for that game. And I did say 2-1 to Arsenal. So there we go. So yeah, man, the last game of Game Week 23 is a London derby on Monday Night Football. Crystal Palace versus Man United. Of course, both teams did win their last game. And there you go. So yeah, let's take a look at the stats. If Jon Philip Mateta scores 2 goals against West Ham on Monday night, he will become only the second player to back 50 Premier League games for Crystal Palace after Wilfred Zaha did in 60, which was 68 goals. Jon Philip Mateta came off the bench to score a brace for Crystal Palace in their 2-1 comeback win at home to Newcastle last weekend. The striker subsequently elevated his Premier League tally to 48 goals for club and should he score another 2 at home to West Ham on Monday night, he will become only the second Crystal Palace player to score a landmark 50 Premier League goals, which is half a century by the way, after Wilfred Zaha scored 68. So that would be really good for Jon Mateta, you know. That would be really good. The fact that he's getting close to 50 Premier League goals is impressive. But listen, in terms of this game, this is a huge game for West Ham. A huge game. Because after that 4-0 win at home to Wolves, they're out of the relegation zone. You know, and they're 2 points above Tottenham, and they're 1 point behind Nottingham Forest. Now, if West Ham beat Crystal Palace, and let's say the likes of Forest and Leeds drop points, and also Tottenham, then West Ham could go above Forest on 35 points and 1 behind Leeds United. So yeah, man, West Ham, you know, are not done yet. They need 8 points in their last 5 games. So for me, I think West Ham need at least 3 wins in the last 6 Premier League games, and they are safe. That's all West Ham need to do. Get at least 3 wins, and you are safe. So there we go. But it ain't gonna be easy because Selhurst Park is a difficult place to go to. And Crystal Palace are safe because since that 2-0 win against Newcastle, Palace are safe because they're on 42 points, which is more than 40. So there we go. But yeah, man, this game means more important for West Ham than it goes to Crystal Palace because West Ham are trying to stay up because their stadium capacity is 60,000. 60,000. So there you go. But yeah, man, I think West Ham, I think their recent performances has been that really good. And if you take a look at West Ham's last 4 games, they've only lost 1, which was against who did West Ham lose to in that time? Let me have a look. West Ham lost to Aston Villa away, which was the final game of the season. So there we go. But yeah, West Ham are in really good form. 2 wins in 4, and they're looking to make another one, and they're looking to spoil the young Mateta milestone, because they don't want him to score 2 goals to make it 50 Premier League goals as a Crystal Palace player. So there we go. But yeah, man, I feel like West Ham, I feel like their recent performance has been that good, and they're looking to climb themselves out of the relegation zone even more. So I'm gonna go for 2-1 to West Ham. Feel it's gonna be a very tight game. Like Crystal Palace, they wanna make sure that they win their game so that they can have a chance of getting Europe next season. Because like I said, the gap between 6th and 14th place is 6 points. Just 6 points separates 6 to 14. So it's also also must-win game for Palace if they want to beat themselves that conversation. But this means more to West Ham if they win to Crystal Palace, because like I said, West Ham are trying to stay up. So there we go. So yeah, for this game on Monday, now I'm going to go for 2-1 West Ham. Goal scorers, Somerville and Jared Bobbin for West Ham. For Crystal Palace, I'm going to go for young Mateta to score for Crystal Palace in that game. So there we go. All right, guys. So let me go for my predictions one more time. So game with 33 predictions. Tomorrow's games, I've gone for a 2-2 draw in the West London Derby between Brentford and Fulham. I've gone for Leeds 3-0 win against Wolves. I've gone for a 2-1 Bournemouth win against Newcastle in the Etihad Derby. I've gone for 3-1 Brighton win against Tottenham in the Robert De Zerbi Derby. Then I've gone for a 1-1 draw against between Chelsea and Man United. And also, it's the Garnacho Derby because we took their player off them. Then Soapy Sunday's games, I've gone for a 2-1 Villa win against Sunderland, and then a 2-1 Everton win against Liverpool in the first ever Merseyside Derby at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Then I've gone for a 2-0 Forest win against Burnley, a 2-1 Manchester City win against Arsenal in a huge game in the Premier League this season in terms of the title race decider. And then on Monday Night Football in the London Derby at Selhurst Park, I've gone for a 2-1 West Ham win against Crystal Palace on Monday Night Football at 8 o'clock at Selhurst Park. And that, my people, is my predictions for game week number 33. And since that's the end of my predictions, that's the end of this video. Now I know this is a long video, but I just wanted to let you guys know the details of every Premier League game, whether it's club, players, and the manager, and give you guys more score predictions. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, despite being it long, then do make sure you click the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm still on the road to 1K, and I want to get there as soon as possible. So if you guys can do that for me, and that's great. Don't forget to share this video to all your friends and family so that they can join in the predictions and watch this video as well. And if you also can do so, hype this video. Try and get this channel to earn so many points so that it can boost the channel and get other people to join in my YouTube community if they're new around there. And yeah, if you guys go your score predictions, then do let me know in the comments down below and react to them as soon as I can. So guys, on behalf of myself, thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy the Premier League games, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Live watching on for the Chelsea, Man United, and especially the big one, Manchester City vs Arsenal. You do not want to miss it. It's your boy Elijah here. Thank you, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.